41! And that is the fastest I've ever been on an e-bike. This is the Coswheel CT20S, and this will be the final video we do for this bike. And here is why. Hello, welcome to the e-VRC. And this is a very sad video, because this is a sort of review of this monster of an e-bike, the CT20S from Coswheel. You may have seen it on the channel already. We had a bit of an intro, how to put it together, a quick first impressions, and then a bit more of a reviewy type video. But after owning it for a while, I'm going to have to let it go. And this video is about why, despite this bike being so good. So, if you don't know about it, it is a bike with a 1,500 watt motor that peaks at 2,000 watts. It has got an absolute monster of a torpedo battery under my crotch. I'm sitting on it right now, so you know, hopefully it doesn't explode. It's got a top speed of apparently over 40 miles an hour. I think I'm about to lose my helmet. It's got this really nice monkey bike, cafe racer, moped, whichever one you want to call it, styling that a lot of people love, and I love. I love the way these bikes are. It's got a really nice front light. It's got indicators front and rear as well. It's always nice. Right, 36, 37, 38, 39. And am I going to hit 40? 40! Can I get 41? 41! Woo! And that is the fastest I've ever been on an e-bike. I love it. It's so exhilarating. But if you're buying an e-bike, you don't need to go 42 miles an hour, which is why I've bought it here to my great uncle's estate, off-road. And here's my dad walking my great uncle's dogs on the estate. This is a heavy bike. Oh my god, my wrists. And there's nowhere good to pick it up. How tall? I'm 5'9". Basically, you won't want to pedal it if you're taller than 6 foot. But it's a throttle bike anyway, isn't it? So let's be honest. How much shorter than 5'9" could you be? I think you'd still be able to ride it if you were 5'5", 5'4". It weirdly feels so much faster as well. You know what? I'm going to get my GPS out. I'm going to get my GPS out because I think we're going faster than it says. I am absolutely not going to hold my phone whilst I'm doing it. I'm going to hold on. Now, despite being totally safe on my great uncle's estate, I do not recommend you use a bike like this without adequate protection. Wear a helmet. Wear a full face helmet, really. It's so windy. It's got a power readout on the screen. It's one of the nicest screens I've ever used. Very clear in the day. Apparently we're doing 1,600 watts. I'm not sure how accurate that is. It's got a twist throttle. Remember, the legal e-bike limit in the UK on normal roads is 250 watts and 15.5 miles per hour, which is why I've had to come off-road to my uncle's estate, great uncle's estate. Albert, his name is. He's a good guy. Okay, it bends the mirror. Whew. That is ridiculous. What? Why isn't it telling me? 41 miles an hour. Okay, it's accurate. Now, we've already done the hill climb. So if you've seen that video, you know it came second. Well, at the time, it was the fastest bike up Sandy Lane. It has since been beaten by a dual motor bike, the Ridgescar Q20 Pro, which is a very powerful bike. It's got two motors. Each individual motor is not as fast as this. This is a faster bike, but with the two motors, that one has more torque. So it did beat it up the hill. But I still prefer this bike. It's beefier. It has got better range. It's more simple. The other bike, the way you have to use the dual batteries is just a bit annoying, basically. And this one's got a really comfy saddle. I do think the price of this bike, it is worth it. But that brings me to the sad bit of the video. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely bike. I really like it. If I had an issue with it, it would probably be that the motor's a bit loud. It's a bit obnoxious. Also, the adjustable stand needs more adjusting because it wants to fall over, especially being top heavy. Like, because the battery's there, all the weight is up, which generally isn't what you want. It doesn't, I don't think it affects the handling much on the road anyway. If you're doing like off-road, well, for one, you shouldn't take this bike off-road, but if you're just riding around on the road, it's absolutely fine. It's got nice wide handlebars, got the front and rear suspension, which is non-adjustable, but that's fine. It's good suspension, and I think for a bike like this, you need to have it on all the time. And of course, that monster battery. Do you know that scene at the start of Star Wars when the ship keeps going and 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 going? Oh God, it just kept on going. I mean, look at it. It's not an e-bike, is it? It's an electric motorbike. Mopeds have got a top limit of what, 28 miles an hour, and this is 41 miles an hour. It's embarrassing. If I'm riding this along, sometimes I ride things slow on I tend to stick to roads, but if I'm just pootling about really slow, even though I'm on this, it's embarrassing. And that's the problem. That's why it's got to go, because I can't in good conscience ride this around even at 15.5 miles an hour. And if you could even pretend it was a legal e-bike by limiting it to 15.5 miles an hour and taking off the throttle, without the throttle then you've got to pedal, and pedaling this bike you look silly because your knees are going up, because these kind of bikes are generally quite low, aren't they? And you know, I'm 5'9" and my feet are on the ground like easily, so if you're taller than me, then you're going to be all hunched up, aren't you, like that. So yeah, I love this bike. I really like this bike. It's one of my favourite bikes I've ever owned, but I'm going to have to let it go. And hopefully, maybe someone who takes it off my hands, they'll think of maybe registering it, because I just didn't have time to work out the ins and outs how to do it. But I will tell you, there is a video from Andy Kirby about registering bikes like this, and it can be done. It might need a bit of extra stuff. Sometimes the tyres need upgrading. This has got really nice tyres, by the way, 5-inch wide, so like fatter than your normal wide fat tyres, and they are good. They're like road tread, which is nice. So the brakes are fantastic. Let's do a quick brake test. I can't remember if I did a brake test actually, so let's just go up to like, it's in the wet, so I'm going to 25 miles an hour, that'll do. I mean, I don't know when I start. Oh, you can see the skid. I was a bit half-hearted there. You can see there is there. But anyway, it's a bit wet, but the brakes are good. But I'm not sure what needs upgrading when you do it. But if you watch that video though, it does give you a lot of information. This would make a marvelous moped, a really cool, nice moped. I'm not going to say I recommend you buy this bike and use it as an e-bike, but you know yourself, if you're the kind of person who likes powerful bikes and you've got your great uncle where you can ride it on his land, then brilliant. It's a great bike, and I'd recommend it for that. But if you're just after an e-bike and you want to take it over parks, canal paths, things like that, It's just like, it's embarrassing, but I love it. I'm gonna have to let you go, sorry kid. But yeah, that is the Coswheel CT20S, one of my favorite bikes I've ever owned, and I've got to send it away. Goodbye Coswheel CT20S. But to send it away, I do need to put it on Facebook Marketplace, so always check out that if you're after a cheap e-bike and you're fairly local to me. Did have some people come down from Cornwall though, twice to get the 2 bikes. But anyway, this was the Coswheel CT20S, and I'm gonna have one last hurrah on my uncle's estate. Until next time, stay protected, ride safe.